my mind, I've never had to go to the hospital before in an emergency situation. And now that I'm almost 37, I'm about to go. And this means I might die. My mother had a lump in her breast for many years, and she ignored it. She would say, oh, it's just fluid in my breast from my cycle. Or she would say, I don't know what it is. I feel the lump, but you know, God's going to heal me. It's going to be fine. She never knew. Like, I think she had a feeling it was cancer, but she never like got diagnosed until it was too late. What happened was that she ended up having to go to the doctor for something, and they checked her blood levels, and that's when it came up. And so literally she went from walking around fine to now she's in the hospital, to having to get chemo and radiation and steroids, to like she passed away quickly, you know? So my view of things was skewed. And I had a limiting belief that played the loudest song in my mind. And that limiting belief was, you may not make it to or past 37. Your son will grow up in a one-parent home. And people will just have a memory of you. And the thing about it is that I didn't know that this was even playing in my mind. When it was time for me to leave to get in the ambulance, I had a fit. Like, I went into full-blown panic, full-blown, like I almost went a little on the deep. I did go on the deep end. And my neighbor looked at me and she didn't understand. She's never seen me like this before. And I'm like, no, like, there's no way. Like, I'm not going to make it out. Like, I'm not going to make it out. Like, oh my God. And my mind, I just kept replaying, this is what happened to your mom. You're next. This is what happened to your mom. You're next. And the other thing that was playing in my head was the last few people who had gone to the hospital, it didn't turn out well for them. Like, my granddad went to the hospital. He was dehydrated, but he was okay. But he had to go to the hospital because of the dehydration, because he was older and had dementia. It didn't turn out well. He ended up passing away. I have a friend, the same thing happened to her dad. He went to the hospital for something. He was fine, ended up passing away. My dad went to the hospital. He made it, hallelujah. But for the first time in his life, he had like 2 major surgeries, almost didn't make it. These recent memories of like going to the hospital, you know, and not making it were very present in my mind, coupled with the fact that you're about to be 37. And you know what that means. So I went to the hospital and went to ER. It was the nurse, it was a male nurse. He was absolutely wonderful. He knew exactly what I was going through. And he told me something that stuck with me. And he told me many things, but what he told me was, he said, first of all, he gave me his story. He said, you know, I used to be a firefighter. He said, and I was going through so much anxiety. The truck that I was actually driving, like, my team had to take me to the hospital in the very fire truck that I was supposed to be, you know, controlling. And he said, make your life simple. Make your life simple. And I guess I didn't think I was making my life difficult, but I was taking on too much, and I was taking on too much. And not only taking on too much, I was carrying the stress that came along with what I was taking on. So I didn't know any of this. Honey, I thought I was doing fine. You know what I mean? I did not know. So I thought I was compartmentalizing things, but what I was doing was carrying things. And it was just piling up on me, along with the limiting subconscious belief of, you're almost 37. Your mom died when she was 37. And she died 2 weeks after she was 37. And about the time it is now, like, she already had cancer. So again, in my mind, I'm like, something's wrong with me, for real. So the hospital, they checked me out head to toe. And the nurse told me, he said, listen, I cannot guarantee this. He said, but I think I know what's going on with you. He said, and 9 times out of 10, everything's going to come back normal. He said, you, girlfriend, have got to make your life simple. And he was right. All the tests came back. I passed with flying colors. There was nothing wrong with me internally. You know, I was fine. And I just realized, I said, okay, so I did some deep thinking, and I said, okay, Achie, what in you wanted this? And what I mean by that is, we are always creating our reality, okay? Whether you're doing it purposefully or passively, we're always creating our reality. So when I say what in this, like what part of you wanted this, like what part of you created this reaction? And I said, And I thought long and deep, and I said, dealing with all of the mess that was happening back to back to back to back to back to back, I was tired. But I felt like everybody was depending on me. And I felt like I couldn't give in. Like it wasn't an option. But deep down, I was tired. And deep down, I wanted to give it all up. And deep down, I wanted to just breathe. And I wanted to take a break. And I wanted my life back. And what this situation did, because I didn't take back my life on my own, like in my own way, in my own healthy way, life forced me to take it back. And I had to deal with my mind in a way that I've never had to deal with it before. And it showed me that anxiety is real. However, B, there are things you can do. And again, this is my story. If it is someone watching and you suffer from chronic anxiety or any other kind of disorder or sickness or illness or ailment, just understand I'm talking about me, and I'm not, generalizing the situation. But what I decided, they told me, like they prescribed me some medicine that I did not take. I didn't even get the prescription filled. I don't take medicine, guys. I just don't, okay? So they said, take this pill, but then they had a long list of other things. So they said, things that help with anxiety. They said, exercise. They said, diet. What you're eating. Go on nature walks. Be in nature. Examine your relationships. Lower your stress levels. Like it was a list. Stay away from caffeine. It was a list of things. So I am one. Like, especially because I'm not used to, going through this type of thing. If you tell me that this list is going to help me, like, minimize this from happening again, I am taking the bull by the horn. So I literally, like, the issues didn't necessarily go away, but my perspective of the issues changed. So I didn't let them overtake me anymore. I said, you know what? I've got one life. I've got one life on this earth right now, on this current earth, the way it is. I have one life. I have a son who's depending on me. I have a husband. Like, I have me. And I am not going to believe the lie. And I decided that I was going to create a different story for myself. And that I was not going to suffer from this. That it's not that things don't come up in life, doesn't happen, but my perspective is the game changer. And that I don't have to live and wallow in this. And that the thoughts of the limiting beliefs and subconscious thoughts of dying at 37, your son's going to only have one parent, and you know, you're going to have a disease. Like, these are all lies. Lies, 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 lies. So I literally had to retrain my brain to say, none of that is true. It's not true. So I am not going to live my life as if it is. So today, on my 37th birthday, I am so grateful for life. I am so grateful for my health. I'm so grateful for my body. I'm so grateful to be able to talk into this camera and to share this story, because my hope is that this helps somebody. If it's one person, mission accomplished. Because I want you to know that you are not your circumstances, and that you have so much to bring, and life's just waiting on you to show up. It's just waiting on you to show up. And that's exactly what I had to do. So what I am doing here on YouTube, I'm showing up. And I encourage you to do the same. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you listening. If you know of anyone who is struggling with anxiety or any kind of limited thinking that's prohibiting their growth or their everyday operation, share this video with them. I know I'm not alone, and I know that this can help somebody. I just know it can. So leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this helped you and how. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.